All right, and it's just that easy.
Welcome to A Nice Place to Brew with Jason and George, a show about all things beer and beer making. Gentlemen, please broadcast responsibly.
It's so polished. Still just with the headphones up to the microphone.
You know, we're not. We don't stand on ceremony here.
Welcome to A Nice Place to Brew. I'm Jason.
And I'm George.
And I'm Scott. Do I
And with-
introduce myself?
Yes,
Hi.
yes,
I'm Scott.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's Thursday.
You're,
This is our Nice Place to Brew happy hour, April 16th. Fellas, what are you drinking?
And at this point, Scott, you're an honorary member of A Nice Place to Brew, so
All right.
I'm okay with that.
We can formally knight you if you want. We'll take a sword and be like, I knight thee, Sir Scott of WNY.
You guys are very formal on this
Yes,
podcast.
exactly.
We stand on ceremony on a few things.
Yes, exactly.
So what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale clone that I made here at the house
Okay.
in a Hamburg glass. Hamburg is the closest brewery to my house.
Oh, all right.
All right. Right on.
Jason, what about you?
Just to repeat, Mirror Ball
Oh,
from our
still
friends at
Mirror
Hot
Ball?
Butcher for the
Okay.
World.
Yeah. All right. I have my Belgian blonde that I was making in a Tina Belcher Butts glass, and and this is the I had a little sample of this yesterday. It wasn't quite carbonated yet, and still today it's a little light on the carbonation, but I'll tell you what. It's super Belgian-y, like it's just screaming banana and Belgian esters, and I'm very happy with it.
Okay. All right.
And see,
How clear that is.
It's still-
Well done.
pretty clear,
Yeah.
and I went straight into the keg, so there you go.
Oh, without cold crashing? Or did you?
No, I just went from
Yeah,
my fermenter into the keg, and I left, some of that scrap on the bottom. I fill my fermenter up to about 5.5 gallons, so to give myself some fermenter loss and when I go in there, so I don't have to take that stuff with me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
All right. Good call.
yeah.
And I know we talked about the cold crashing at length on a past episode, so I think you made the right call, just going straight into a keg there, and I think that did save some of those yeasty characters that you wanted to bring over.
Yeah, and it really did. I'm very happy with it.
Nice.
I was listening to, as you were talking about earlier, Scott, I was listening to Rush yesterday and drinking this on my back porch while I was smoking some chicken. So,
Nice.
yeah.
What kind of chicken did you do? What'd you do?
So it's a recipe with chicken thighs that you butterfly, and then you put ham, Gruyere, and pickle in with a little bit of mustard, and then wrap it with bacon, and then smoke it. So it's kind of Cuban-esque in its flavor profile, and it's quite tasty.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So will this be the summer I take up smoking meat?
You should.
Do you have one, Scott?
I do. I have a Pit Boss smoker.
Okay.
I started like everyone else, probably with an electric smoker, and then me and my brother-in-laws we started a competition barbecue team back in 2013, and I still have posters from it over here. Oh, you can almost see it.
Competition barbecue team. I love that. That's fantastic.
We came in second place on ribs in one competition, and then like dead last in everything in the next competition, and hung it up. Like, this is a lot of fun at home. This is terrible in a competition.
How much tie-in is there with a competition like that as opposed to a beer competition?
Beer competition. Okay, so quickly, beer competition, everything is done beforehand. You have your beer, you make it at home,
Yeah, that's a good point.
and then you send it in, and it's what, like $7 for our local competition to be part of it.
Mhm.
And it's the exact opposite in a smoking competition. Is you show up with a cooler full of meat, and they will come around and inspect and make sure that there's no previous preparation on it. Like everything has to be in packaging. So they come around and inspect, and everything has to be done in that 24 hours that they give you in that smoking competition. And it costs, I think, $300 to enter the competition on top of the cost of meat and supplies. And then just being there, we brought an RV with us, and it was fun, but man, it was expensive, and you're not at your best. The people that do it for a living and travel around, and you're not going to beat them.
I love that.
Well, that feels like it'd be.
I really do.
Or at least we weren't going to beat them. I'm sure other people. I mean,
It feels like it'd be stressful too.
I made a drinking event out of it, which probably didn't help. But that's the way it is, right? Brought beer with me that I made and drank a lot of it.
Oh man.
Oh, but yeah, now I have a pellet smoker at the house, a Pit Boss pellet smoker. So I don't have to tend to fires anymore. When we were on the team, we built 3 separate smokers, and I was using an ugly drum smoker, which is a charcoal smoker, for a while. And then I sold that, got the Pit Boss, and I just set it to 225, and it uses wood pellets, and you still get the wood flavor. It's amazing.
Yeah, mine is a Bradley, so it's an electric smoker with the discs, and it's kind of a set and forget.
Those
Ron
disc smokers
Popeil
are great too.
Yeah, and the thing I like about that is the smoke and the heat are independent of each other. So I can cold smoke, or I can hot smoke.
Oh,
or
that's
I can
great.
just use it as a slow cooking oven. There's options there. That's kind of why I went with that one.
Yeah, those are really nice looking. Just pulled it up just now.
Yeah, it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but I'll tell you what, it is. And you go through one of those discs about every 20 minutes. So you can, if you're doing a long smoke, you can go through a good amount of discs pretty quickly. But it's still pretty good.
Yep. So Jason, you're next, man.
Oh, what am I drinking?
Oh, I meant you're next to get a smoker.
Oh, I am next to get a smoker. Yes, yes.
It's all the same.
I'm starting to see some things. We lost George. Did we lose the broadcast? Hold on a second.
Still says live.
Yeah, I think it is. Hold on.
Yep.
So,
you're back.
Hey, welcome back.
And I'm back. Yeah, sorry guys. If I drop out, just keep going.
Okay.
I am. It's a little shaky here right now. But the good news is everything keeps rolling. So
yeah. I've seen a couple of new things, and we've talked about it at length on this on our weekly webcasts. I'll be moving to a pump system shortly.
Nice.
And yeah, I think a smoker will be right behind it. So, couple new things on the horizon. So, yeah, I'll tell you, it seems like every other day I'm going on Facebook pages of friends of mine, and they've got these amazing smoked meats that they've put together since the quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, honestly, like it's with the extra time, smoking meat becomes a very manageable project. So yeah, it's some amazing stuff. I'm always reminded too, and George has been to this place too. There's a brewery down in Louisville, Kentucky. It's called Against the Grain, and it's located. I'm not kidding about this. It's located in a minor league baseball stadium. Off to one corner of it, yeah. And the brewery doubles as a smokehouse also, and it has smoked meats like briskets and sandwiches and things like that they serve. And the smoked brisket they have is incredible. It's worth the trip just for the smoked meats. Seriously.
Louisville Cardinals baseball is. I'm looking it up.
Is that what their team name is?
Seems like it.
Well, I know because it's located in downtown Louisville, and the university is right there too. And the Cardinals is the mascot for the university. I know that.
Yeah, and I've been to Louisville before, and we went past the stadium because I remember a large baseball bat like Louisville Slugger Stadium or
Right.
something.
Yeah, exactly. They're within a couple blocks of each other.
Yep, and that's what it is. Against the grain right here.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Really good beer too. They've got a staple milk stout called 35K. Excellent.
Some people. Good beer, good food. I mean, come on. And then others of us, we're trying super hard. So what have you guys been up to this week?
Work.
It's only
work
Thursday.
and work. Yeah, it is only Thursday. It's been a long work week. I do have one bit of homebrewing news. George gave me a hard time on the Monday webcast about my hesitation with moving my cold crash beer into a keg. I'm happy to report that yes, the beer has been transferred. Yes, it's carbonating. Okay. All right, we're done. I did it.
All right, good.
So I got the message.
I asked you how long it's been in there, and you said a week. That's
Yes.
long enough.
Yeah. I think I think a week is kind of my over/under typically with cold crashing. Although if there were another expert on this podcast, I'm sure they would probably say about 3 to 4 days is really what you need for cold crashing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do have another piece of homebrewing news. So I was on a webcast last night with my local brew club, and they had 2 guest attendees that were from a different homebrewers podcast called Experimental Brewing, and they were awesome guys. They did a brief Q&A with us, and also just kind of talked in general about homebrewing. So I asked them a question about Whirlpool hop editions, which is kind of right in front of me, because if you've been to the AHA website over the last week, you will see that the recipe for Big Brew Day has been announced. It is a New England IPA recipe, and it has a Whirlpool hop edition.
Okay.
And the Whirlpool hop edition is really kind of built for systems that utilize pumps.
Yeah,
So you can create circulation in your kettle, and then the addition works that way. Well, that kind of gets thrown. You throw a wrench into that if you have a basic gravity fed system like what I have. So I asked them the question: is there any way I could shortcut this? And they said, yeah, there probably will be. What you can do is, after you're done with your boil, you can cool the liquid down to 180 degrees and then stop. Take your immersion chiller out, and then do your hop addition and just gently stir for 15, 20 minutes, and then resume your chilling.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, we talked about that before, and you certainly
did.
can self-stir and self-whirlpool.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of effort.
I mean, all they said was just make it real gradual. You don't have to like vigorously, create a vortex that you have to maintain the whole time. Just a very gentle stir during that time will get it done.
With my system, the Grainfather doesn't have a lot of pressure in the pump. So I kind of do a whirlpool, but it's more of a recirculation.
Okay.
When I'm doing that, I brewed last night. I brewed a New England IPA last night with most of the hops in the Whirlpool, and I use a hop spider, so I don't clog that pump, and I'll put the end of the hose into the hop spider, so everything goes through the spider slowly for 40 minutes.
Okay.
That seems to work fine. I mean, the beer tastes good.
Have you made a New England before?
I made one last night.
Well, I mean, but I'm sorry, before last night. Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
We also had a homebrew club meeting last night, and I recorded it for a podcast episode. And
Nice.
we had Brian Huntley from Short Circuited Brewers on YouTube as our guest. It's funny, people are all sitting at home like, do you want to come on with the homebrew club? And they're, yeah, what else are we doing?
That is true. I feel like it's never been easier to bring on expert guests.
Yep. See, you guys got me. I mean, that counts,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, exactly.
It was quite the catch.
Well, we had
Yep.
we had Yakima hops on last
Yeah,
week,
that was
which
amazing.
was excellent. And we're reaching out to a number of different companies also. So yeah, definitely more to come in that category. We look forward to it.
A certain
Excellent.
yeast company.
Nice.
Listen. Let's be gentle. We called them out last episode. Let's not make it 2 in a row. At least let's try not to.
We're talking about talking yeast on our next homebrew club meeting, and that's probably what we'll do.
Oh, yeah?
Is we'll reach out to one of the yeast companies.
Okay, got it.
So, okay, the other thing I gave you a hard time about is you keep threatening to get a pump. Have you pulled the trigger on that?
Not yet, but it's coming.
You know, it's always coming. I did pull the trigger on my next project, and it arrived. This is
very
going
nice.
to be going into my my lauter ton here shortly. So I'm hoping it'll fit. Otherwise, I need to get a new pot for it. But yeah, it should be good.
Excellent.
All right, excellent.
Yeah, I received along with it the ingredients and yeast and everything for my porter that I'm gonna make.
Porter is a great kind of beer. It's a great style.
Yes.
Well, Jason and I had a whole conversation about porter. There was an episode the live stream where it was just him and I, and we had a whole conversation about it. And technically, porters don't exist. It's kind of a mix of a brown and a stout, and it was kind of an amalgamation to get around the what was it, Jason? The grain laws or something.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so to get around some sort of tax, I think. Yeah, but it's because we were talking about how commercially there really isn't a good example of a well-known non-craft beer commercial porter that we could think of. And so what about you, Scott? Do you have can you think of any that we may have forgotten?
Just based on what BJCP says, Samuel Smith and Fuller's. I mean, these are all English companies here.
Yeah, and I guess maybe that's part of the problem is a lot of them where it would be popular is in the UK, in that area.
Okay, robust porter, according to the BJCP, Great Lakes Edmund Fitzgerald porter.
Oh, Edmund Fitzgerald. I forgot about that.
And then Baltic porter. Sorry, when we talk styles, I hop to the BJCP style guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's 28. That's 2008. Hold on.
Oh, 2008. They need what is the latest? They did one in 17, right?
2015.
Well, I know everyone still uses the 15, but I think technically they did one in 2017.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know that you can find an audio version of the BJCP style guidelines on Spotify.
An audio.
How does that work? Like, do you have a separate track for every like subcategory?
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking this up right now. I need to know this.
And when you say, do you have a separate track for every category? Yes, I do, because it's totally me.
Look at this. Okay, all right.
Oh, you're the voice behind it?
I'm only into 5, and I got permission to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I don't like reading. Is that lazy of me? I can't stand reading.
Well, it's not lazy of you when you read so you don't have to read later. Like, I think that makes sense.
Teacher, too. I mean, it's...
You're a music teacher.
I'm a music teacher. I like to listen to stuff.
So when you type in BJCP into Spotify, what they give you is a podcast called Homebrew Bound.
Oh, fun.
Yes. Yeah. Homebrew Bound is a show dedicated to exploring the world of homebrewing, beer experimentation, and helping you make the best beer possible. Sounds like a competitor.
That's right.
Oh,
Take them down. Right. They are going down.
But they've got a very steady stream of episodes.
Oh, good.
So
good for them.
Yeah, good for them.
Challenge accepted.
That's right.
We're calling out our. I said I'm calling out ourselves.
Yeah.
Podcasts, BJCP 2015 style guidelines.
Okay.
And that's what I found is Homebrew Bound. Did you find something else?
Oh yeah, no, BJCP. I'll send it to you guys in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Private chat, apparently. And then I'm going to go upstairs and put my kids to sleep.
Ooh.
And about 7:30, 7:45, they're going to be in bed. So I will jump back on in about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And I will bring
counting
this
down.
with me. All right.
Oh,
All right.
Okay. Podcast BJCP style guidelines audio version. Look at this. They do have a separate track for every subcategory.
And I'm gonna go ahead. I went ahead and put it in the live chat for anybody that stumbles upon this in the future,
Yes.
so they can go ahead and check that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out as well. And if you're there, you're in Spotify. You've gone through the 5 episodes he has so far. You need something else to listen to. Jason, can you think of any recommendations that might be in Spotify podcast?
Oh, yes. Hold on a second. There's a podcast called A Nice Place to Brew that is available
is?
on Spotify. Yes.
No. All right. Well, that is surprising. I didn't know that.
Yes. All 40 some odd episodes of our
Yes.
podcast, me and George, talking about all various homebrewing and craft beer topics. Check us
Absolutely.
out. Available
Yeah.
on Spotify and all the major podcast platforms.
Yeah. And by the way, we're trying something new, as you guys are probably noticing up in the upper right-hand corner, powered by StreamYard. Shout out to them. We're using the free version, which is why that's up there at the moment. But so far, it's been, pretty solid platform, super easy to sign up, and we were online in about 2 seconds. So, so far so good. We'll see how it keeps going. But if anything strange happens tonight, there you go. That's why. But also if you're a podcaster and you want to do, or you're doing live streams, you need to do interviews, this might be a viable option. So
Well
hi,
said.
Paul. So, but anyway, Jason.
Sure.
When we were talking about this, and the guys over at Yakima said that they're going to be sending us some of that CO2 hop concentrate.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if I might be able to use some of that for my my porter. I'm intrigued to try it. The porter recipe's solid. I know that. So I'm wondering for the bittering aspect, if I can use some of that and be able to cut down on my hop additions and everything.
I would say go for it. I don't think there's any reason not to. My only hesitation with that technique that they talked about is it's going to be so easy to overdo it. It's going to be so easy. So, if you can get the ratio dialed in perfectly, then I think you're fine. But yeah, that's the hesitation.
And I'm going to lean on Beersmith a little bit because they're right. It is in there as far as the guidelines and additions and adding that in. You can add like X number of milliliters at a certain time, and it'll do the same IBU calculations you would for pellets.
Okay.
So I'm going to lean on that, but also just because this is the kind of person I am, when I started doing water chemistry and specifically acid, I got a whole bunch of those graduated cylinders with different markings and everything. So my plan was to kind of put it into that and then go from there into the pot, so that way I could make sure I had the exact right amount of, because you're right. It's 50 IBUs per milliliter or
something like that. Yeah, it was
I don't
really
remember what
high.
it was.
Yeah,
it was really high.
Really,
so
really concentrated.
I have a feeling it's going to be like fractions of a milliliter in
Yeah.
there, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's look up on the BJCP. So so let's say if you're making a beer based on the English porter category,
Mhm.
I want to say the IBUs for one of those is between like 25 and 40.
Yeah, it's not that high.
Yeah, it's not that low either though. So I mean,
No, I mean
it's
the
not like a amber ale or cream ale or something like that. In one of those, if you were making one of those, I would say don't use something like that because you're almost guaranteed to overshoot it. With a porter,
yeah, if it's
something with that
yeah,
I would call kind of a mid range as far as an IBU that you're looking to shoot at. I think that's a fair place to give it a shot.
yeah, it just I don't know, I'm intrigued to try it because, like I said, I know the porter recipe is solid. It is an English porter recipe, so
Okay.
it in the
Did you make
IBUs
did you make
is
this new?
the
Is it a
no, it's
new recipe or one you've made before?
it's what I made before, but I riffed on it and changed it based on some new knowledge that I have.
Okay. All right.
But it's not that complicated. It is super malt forward. So I have a feeling even if I overshoot the IBU a little bit, it's not gonna like blow the beer away or
Okay.
anything like that.
All right. That's
So
fair. That's fair.
yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Let's see the bitterness here. So the range for an English porter in Beersmith is 18 to 35. So if I
Okay.
overshoot it
All
by
right.
a little bit, not the end of the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I might do that because otherwise I was thinking about using Chinook, which I already have. Like I said, I got my ingredients.
Okay.
But and then EKG for my flavoring hops.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah, but I have a little bit of time to figure it out because we're gonna do that on Big Brew Day on May 2nd.
May 2nd. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh,
And
hey
my
Paul. I'm not
my
sure if I
plan
said
will
hi
still
to
be.
you yet.
Where's Paul?
He's
A
in
live
the
comments?
he's in the live stream. Yeah,
Oh.
he's in the comments there.
Ah.
Yeah.
What's up, Polly?
So-
How's it going?
So yeah, your plan is still the BJCP recipe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, and honestly, I'm not ruling out the pump. I know I'm dragging my feet, but there's a strong possibility that yeah, that's going to be that's going to be my first try on Big Brew Day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm toying with the idea if I can get it set up and I can get it working the way that I want to. In some test runs before then. I'm wondering if I can set up and have this be the first Herms beer that I do.
I mean, you're close to there already with that coil that you just bought.
It's gonna be I mean, yeah, it is what I need, I need a few hose clamps. But other than that, it is what I need. But that's yeah, it's one of those things of, all right, how many variables do I want to throw into this mix?
Okay.
Because if I'm, and so if I do that, I would probably use more traditional hopping. Or maybe since that's different parts of the since that's different parts of the process, maybe I can do because that's the mash. If I do the mash and my final gravity comes out not too far out of bounds,
Yeah.
then maybe I can do the CO2 concentrate, and just kind of play it by ear.
Okay. I think that's an even better way to do it.
Yeah. So Paul asked, is the Big Brew Day, is there a specific recipe or just whatever you want to brew? And frankly, the answer to that is there is a specific recipe that they have out on the AHA website, but it's not a requirement. You can, they just want to encourage home brewing. It's based around I think May 7th was the day that home brewing became officially legal across the country back in the day, and I think it's somewhere in the 70s. So they celebrate by the first Saturday having a Big Brew Day, and they do have an official recipe, but again, it's not a requirement.
Yeah.
They just want to encourage home brewing.
So this will be my first year on Big Brew Day that I'm making the actual Big Brew Day recipe, which changes every year. So, but yeah, I guess the important thing for homebrewers out there to remember about Big Brew Day is it's a community event. So if you
Right.
can take the time on May 2nd to brew a batch of your own beer, do so. Post to social media,
Right.
and honestly, it'll be a great time. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only heard half of that because I was logging in. I just got the link from Jason.
Hey, what's up,
So I
Ollie?
That's all right, Paul.
Hey, welcome
Nice,
to a
how
nice
are ya?
place to brew Thursday edition. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me again.
Oh, glad to have you.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yes, Polly. Talking
yes.
about Big Brew Day, let's dive further into this. Now, you are a longtime home brewer. Have you participated in Big Brew Day in years past?
No, I actually didn't know about it until this year, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've been in AHA and all that, but I never really followed all the newsletters or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, we were talking about it last week at the JBG meeting with the guy that was on your podcast. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. The AHA guy.
Matt Bowling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Matt.
So that's
Yeah.
what got me intrigued about it. Actually, I got a recipe here that I might throw it. I already have it together. I just got to do it. So either that or make something new.
Do you
was
have
going through some more.
Do you have an empty keg? Something to fill?
I got 3 empty kegs. to be
Okay, all right. Then I think you're ready.
honest. Yeah, I mean,
Sounds
I'm
like you have
ready
an
to do
empty
this.
keg problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I have an
I
idea of
got-
where you can get it. I have an idea where you can get ingredients too. You might know what that is.
I know a guy that I can
Yeah,
talk to.
yes.
I have no problem in ingredients. I'll tell you that.
Yes,
So
yes. So yeah, so
But the no chill beer turned out good.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah. You were you were having a glass of that last night on the webcast in the JBG. You're pleased with that,
Oh,
huh? That's
yeah.
awesome.
I didn't know what to expect, really. I mean,
Right.
I think next time I use a different hop, I think I'm gonna actually end up dry hopping in the keg. I'm gonna drink half this and then just dry
Okay,
hop it with
okay.
those Michigan copper hops. Just
So
for fun.
if
Why
we can
not? I
walk
got nothing
through,
but time.
can we walk through the process that you did post no chill? So it gradually brought down the temperature. You fermented it for how many days?
It ended up going 2 weeks. To be
2
honest.
weeks. Okay.
2
What do you
weeks.
what do you ferment in?
Glass carboy.
Glass carboy.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a
think-
chamber that controls the temperature?
No, well, I usually have a closet that stays pretty. It's like in the middle of my house. But this time, I think what happened is because I didn't want to drag it in my bedroom because I didn't want to cause. I've had too many freaking airlocks blow off, and I'm cleaning yeast off the side of my
Oh,
closet
it
wall.
sucks. Yeah.
I didn't want to do that this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kept it in my kitchen. It was right by the back door. So I'm thinking the temperature fluctuation, because after about 5 days, it seemed like it was dropping out. I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I'll go ahead and think about going on to the next step. And then I wake up one morning and there's a Croatian head on there again. I got scared. I'm like, oh no. I think this thing's fucking infested.
Oh, that's the worst.
So
Yeah,
it fermented
yeah,
for
I've
2
never-
weeks, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it went almost a full 2 weeks before it finally started dropping out.
Gosh.
And it was weird because it was like, it wasn't really much of a Croatian head. It just seemed like there was bubble, like a thin layer of foam on the top of it the whole time. I
Yeah.
was waiting for that to drop out.
You know what? My cream ale did
So-
the same thing too. Like the Croisen went real high, and then rather than just kind of gradually lower down into the surface of the liquid, which most of my stuff does, all those bubbles just kind of stayed there.
Right. Yeah, and I
Exactly.
think that's a function of the ingredients. Is like certain ingredients will cause more surface tension of that, and it'll just kind of stick around. Versus and it's probably
Gotcha.
the more things you add that actually contribute to like head retention and things, the more you're going to see that, because
That's
that's
probably true.
effectively the same thing.
I've never studied
Yeah, because actually,
exactly which grains contribute more to that. Although that makes perfect sense to me that depending on the malts you choose, it'll contribute to that. Like just
Yeah.
for example, and I've talked about this before, I use 4 ounces of carapils in every recipe that I do, specifically for the head retention. That's it.
Right.
So that that's just one piece of it too.
I usually use about a half pound to a pound of Carapils or Carafoam or whatever I'm feeling like grabbing that day at the
You
brew
don't
store.
you don't need that much.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, 4 ounces will do it.
No wonder
man.
you're no wonder you're blowing airlocks.
No, that's usually when I use that American wheat yeast at 1010. Holy cow! I remember one time I literally airlock. I had yeast in the ceiling of my room.
So you need to, next time you do that, you need to invest in some firm cap and throw that in there so you can, keep that under control.
Or I could just use a blow off tube and be easy.
Or you could do that too.
I've never used firm cap.
No, I haven't either.
Never used it.
Oh, it's become.
see it
Oh yeah,
all the time.
George is a big endorser of firm cap.
Firm cap is a part of my religion at this point. I'm always using that in my fermenter.
How much do you use? I'm kind of curious. I mean, I see those jars, those little vials that you sell. Is it like a couple drops per 5 gallons, or?
So I think it's like 2 drops per gallon. So I end up using like 10 drops. So I've had the same little bottle of firm cap for months. It goes on forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might have. I'm just getting all experimental on everything right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
think,
you don't get that. You don't use. I still get a little bit of krausen. You don't get that big, satisfying krausen that you sometimes see in the carboys. That you really know the yeast is doing its thing. But you still do get a little bit of krausen, but it just keeps the foam under control. And with my fermenter being wider than it is tall, it's a requirement.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't think my wife would be super pleased if I blew out an airlock in our guest bedroom.
Oh yeah. I mean, once I started blowing off airlocks, then I just went straight to blow off tubes because it was just so much easier to deal with it that way,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yeah.
And that's just that's all we ever use in the pro. So that blow off tubes all the time. So it is what it is.
That is true. Yeah, you have those pictures of those long tubes that hang from the top of the steel fermenters, and they're always going into just these big sanitizer buckets.
Yep.
That is a familiar sight for sure. Yeah.
I love it. Like I remember one time when I was working at Flossmore years ago, we had a real active one. We actually we overflowed the bucket of yeast and sanitizer and all that. We ended up having to put in like a kiddie pool to contain it because that's how active the yeast was.
Jeez.
It's funny.
I remember this was early in George and I's homebrewing days, but George made a makeshift blow-off before we even knew what a blow-off setup was.
Oh boy.
What's wrong?
Do you? No. I was just. Remembering that situation.
You remember? Okay, I thought it was technical. Yeah, like George thought he was straight up MacGyver from coming up with this, and I totally thought it was like I was like, man, you are a genius for coming up with this, and then lo and behold, this is like in everyone's playbook.
I knew I knew the concept of a blow off tube at that point, but we didn't have one. We didn't have the cap that would let us blow off into something.
Right.
So
right.
What I ended up doing was taking the bobber out of a airlock and shoving a tube right down into that right down on that center post that the air comes up and running that into a bottle, and that was our blow off. You know,
it's very simple. Yeah.
Shortly after that was a trip to Brewworks, and we bought some blow off caps, if I remember correctly.
Yes. It just hooks up to 3/8 tubing and into a bucket. You're done.
Yeah.
Is that about the little caps that you like, the orange, the burgundy and orange ones that they have?
Yes.
On the
That's exactly
those are the ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what you use?
Sometimes I use one with airlock, and then I actually have the 1.5 inch tubing too, because I put like a 1.5 inch tubing goes right into the top of the carboy. So you get
Right.
actually the full 1.5-inch blow off to it. Like if you get a real happy yeast, and because I actually with the one with the airlock one time, it was another time I was using for some reason the 1010 yeast. I think it's partially Kolsch and it's always active, and I've always had problems with it. And one time I actually clogged one of my blow off tubes with a little 3/8 tubing in there. That's when I just started using the 1.5-inch ones because it's a full pour going into it. And then when you have it in your bedroom, it's very, very soothing when you're trying to sleep with something fermenting.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was. I snore, especially when I drink. So every once in a while I get kicked down to the guest bedroom, which is fine by me. It's a very comfortable bed, and so I was down here while mine was in the major fermenting stages, and it was just going. I could hear it popping, and I was like, all right, that's good. I can sleep to that. And which really isn't a problem because I can sleep to anything, but it was good to hear it.
What you drinking, Polly? What do you got?
Well, I just poured myself a shot of Evan Williams.
Oh, right on.
And
Is that Scotch or? Yeah. Okay.
Bourbon.
Bourbon. Okay, it's bourbon. Okay.
For like an everyday drinker, this is my favorite. It's cheaper than Jack Daniels, and it's a hell of a lot better than drinking Jack or Beam. I think it's like under $20 for a fifth of it. So
nice.
And it's something to do with, do shots with, especially when we have these Chicago Street virtual meetings, because everyone's doing shots on there, and next thing you know, I'm waking up, pass out on my floor.
Yeah, I've been to those. It's a little insane.
Oh man!
You know what? The past couple ones have actually been kind of nice. We've only had maybe like 6 of us on there, so it's been
okay.
Kind of
now that I would enjoy. I hope I hear about the next one that's a number like that.
Yeah, I might need to drop in on one of these too.
Yeah, we'll find the right one for you, George, and we'll definitely we'll get you in. But like the first one I dropped in on, I think there was like 44 attendees, and it was just a crap show.
Oh yeah,
Paulie, you were on that one too.
Like, well, it's Chicago Street that night.
Yes, exactly.
Conversations going on,
and everything is just crashing into each other. Yeah, it was insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about Sean that night. He ended up he was on his wife's laptop in the bedroom, and he just went and passed out behind the laptop. So everyone's like, "Where's Sean? Where's Sean?" And she's on. And it shows a picture of him all spread eagle on the bed.
Oh my God!
I'll tell you what, that's so fitting because there was a few JBG nights where I was like, how are half these people getting home? You know?
Yep.
Well, I guess what saving point, like most of us are only like a 5-minute drive home. Or it's like a 10-minute
that's
Uber
true.
Like that.
Yeah. Jason, you and I were on the long end of that drive. Yeah.
We're one of the longer trek people that go to those meetings. So all good.
Yeah, like you guys.
Absolutely.
Kevin Promise and Corey. I didn't know Corey was from down in that area too.
Yeah.
Corey,
no, there's a handful of us. We got members from Morris area all the way to Peatone.
Yeah, you're right. We do.
Yeah.
So Paul, last episode we went over the Big Brew Day recipe. It's a hazy IPA with a Kvike yeast, and so it's in the yeast that they have. They're recommending you ferment it at 95 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Which I've not used a Kvike yeast yet. That seems just like a hothouse type temperature to ferment at.
But you'll get it finished in 3 days. I actually
I believe that.
When I first came out when I was working at the store, when that first came out about a couple years ago, that was like the biggest craze. And I don't know if you guys know who Jay Bacchio is. He's a well-known homebrewer. He's part of UKG, Urban Knaves of Grain. But he did that, and he had a hazy dry hopped, and grained to glass in like 7 days
Wow.
with that Quebec yeast, fermented at like 90 degrees.
7
I tried that
days?
Quebec yeast and did it at I did it at room temperature, like basement temperature, like 67 or something like that, like we normally do it at. We let it go for 2 weeks, and I literally still had chunks of yeast that looked like aircraft carriers floating around in there. It didn't fall out
Wow.
because it was
So-
lower temperature.
Polly, so you've used this before. Do you know what kind of, esters and attributes and things should you expect from like a Kvike yeast? I've never used it before, so is there anything?
You know, it's been so long since I've used it.
Okay.
I would get some of the fruity esters. I know a lot of people are doing this now for the hazies. It's like the new alternative to like the London 3 from Y Yeast.
Right.
So you get some fruit esters out of there. It's pretty clean, but like I said, it's been since I brewed with it. It's been over a year, to be honest with you, since I've used it personally.
Okay.
I've tried a bunch. I mean, hell, I think Chaos they just did a whole competition with all Quebec yeast.
Oh,
All the
wow.
home brewers were using that.
Well,
Yeah.
and for the as a bit of a substitute, I did notice that because it's a Voss Quebec that they're recommending for the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked on Omega's site, and they do have a Voss Quebec that is it Kvike or Quebec? Do you know?
Potato.
All right, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a Voss Quebec yeast that is designed to ferment at lower temperatures. So it's like 65 to up to 100. And they say, if you do it at 100, you're going to get more character out of it, but that it can ferment at lower temperatures as well. So that might be an option for
Yeah,
people
like,
that.
When you made
Yeah.
Polly's truck, was that a high temperature fermentation?
no, that was just a London 3.
Oh,
What
okay.
is it, 13, 18 or whatever it is. Yes.
Okay.
London 3. That's like a lot of go-tos. I did
Right.
notice that Leyland's got a whole hazy yeast strain now.
Well,
dry yeast strain.
Leyland, that's one of the sponsors of Big Brew Day this year, and so that's the yeast,
Okay.
the Leyland Kvike yeast. That's what they're recommending.
I'm gonna have to find that because I know we haven't started carrying that at Brew and Grow. They're kind of weird. Like we only really carry Leyland Safe Ale, Y Yeast, and then Omega. We did White Labs for a while, but nobody bought it, so it just went bad. We just quit carrying it and stopped.
Okay.
Okay.
I wish we carry like Imperial, but there's so many same yeast. We don't want like the same yeast from 4 different yeast companies.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I actually
Like how many
have.
American Ale yeast are you gonna get?
Yeah, the porter recipe that I did a White Labs yeast. So I've got one of their new little vials, their paper vials in my fridge right now. So
Does anybody know does Brewworks carry the Leyland Quebec yeast?
No
Do you know
idea.
that, Jason?
no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
I'll have to call and see.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I know we don't carry it. And if we were to order, it's going to take us like 3 weeks. And Big Brew Days in what, 2 weeks? So
It's,
May
2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Well, you guys-
I think the day after that.
You guys
is
have
our,
a big enough.
brew company.
You guys have a big enough parking lot there that if you wanted to, if the laws would allow for it in Illinois, I haven't been keeping track of that, but people could easily, stay away from each other and be able to brew there.
That's a
Yeah,
heck of
but
an
the problem is
idea.
that's not it is a great idea, but that part we only got a section of that parking lot, and if that's a Saturday, there's like 3 stores that are open in that building that day too, so we got to share the parking lot with them.
Okay.
So
It'd
be a great idea, but
Yeah.
have 30 brewers right there, that'd be kind of rough.
Right.
Well, what also contributes to that is, at the time of this recording is April 16th. Our quarantine is scheduled, keyword scheduled, to end on the last day of April. So
Okay.
in theory, this could be the second day after the quarantine is over. But everything's totally up in the air. That could change tomorrow if, depending on what
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, a lot of them are getting extended, and let's be honest, and I've got a number of relatives in the medical industry,
Yeah.
even after these quarantines are lifted, it's still not a great idea to like just go out and live your normal life. So
Oh, yeah. No,
still take precautions, people. But even if it is lifted,
yeah.
but it's something like that. Social distancing, keeping apart with your guys' parking lot. If you can work that with the people that are in the lot there, I think that's a viable option.
Well, even if that doesn't come together, listen, that's one thing that I think is great about Big Brew Day this year is you can still be part of a community brew day
That's
while
true.
social distancing.
Yeah, because the Big Brew Day this year is all about virtual brewing.
Right,
So
right.
they're asking people to register and talk about and live tweet, live stream,
Yeah.
really put out there that they're brewing and how their brew day's going and things like that. And Jason and I are going to be doing the same thing. There's probably going to be a StreamYard
Yes.
stream going the whole time we're brewing.
Yep.
And we're going to do the same thing. So
Welcome back
Yeah.
to A Nice Place to Brew, Scott from WNY Brews.
yeah.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, Scott.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Does it sound okay or does it sound terrible?
No, you sound great.
Yeah.
Loud and clear. So, and Scott, you remember Paul, right?
Yeah, of course. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paulie.
All right.
Hi, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a beer.
Okay. I get that. In fact, I need to do the same. My butts glass is empty.
Well,
So
by all means, I've got a sip left, so I'll keep the seat warm for you.
All right. Entertain Scott.
As they say.
You can see I'm in Chicago.
Yes. What an amazing picture that is. Taken late in autumn. Look at those orange colors. Wow, that is just a beautiful view of the city.
Yeah. Yep, my the room, I just put my kids to sleep. They're in the room right there and right there, and the room I'm in happens to have a large green wall. So,
Okay. All right. So green screen area. Okay. All right.
perfect.
Can you
Yeah, not on purpose, just that was my
Yeah.
son's choice. So
can you find a similar picture with autumn colors like that for Buffalo?
oh, I can put myself in Buffalo for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But
No,
I
that'd
mean,
be nice to see
with
too.
the Malort.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, that
You
is
know
the
what?
Chicago
That is,
skyline.
you know what? Now that you have
Chicago.
that bottle, I think that's very appropriate that the Chicago
Yeah.
picture stay there. Yes, yes. And we will actually. I'm sure when we get to the point of the show, Scott, I'm sure we can join you with a couple of shots too.
So when we do get there, I need a
Yes.
heads up because number one, I'm gonna solo Scott on the stream so everybody can see this wonderful happen. And number two, my wife is insisting to come over and witness this as well. So
I love
need
this.
I need to go get her as well. So
Hannah
I feel
does
like it's
not.
gonna be super disappointing. Like I can't imagine it's that bad.
Well, I mean, to each their own. Everyone has their own individual taste buds. Yours will be yours, so we'll look forward to that.
so yeah.
So
I have,
can I?
go ahead.
Sorry,
Jason.
no,
go ahead.
I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. So go ahead.
Okay, I was saying that I have visions of that one saying at the beginning of the season of the series of Game of Thrones is, "Oh, my sweet summer child."
Is that where like you sent that to me over a text message within the last couple of days, and I was like, "Where the hell is that from?" Okay, now I
Yeah,
know.
it's from Game of Thrones. yeah.
Okay, got it.
Hey, what's the weather
Sure.
like out there, guys?
Which there?
Well, it's a good question. I suppose where either of you are. Okay, we'll start in Illinois. What's the weather like in Illinois right now?
So we had a cold spell earlier on this week where it fell down into the high 30s, low 40s. It
Uh-huh.
has warmed up, and I think it's probably low 50s right now, which is pretty typical for April.
Okay.
All right.
So we're just getting off of a little bit of a warmer spell. It got almost to 80 this weekend, and super
What?
rainy. Yeah, and so, but right now it's high 50s, heading back up into the mid 60s for the rest of the week.
So the reason I brought it up, and I feel like Buffalo gets a bad reputation, but it snowed. We got about 1.5 inches today.
Dang.
I was
Now-
wondering if it
Snow
was
we had
everywhere.
yesterday.
Is it staying, or is it warmed up enough so that it's melting right away?
No, it's sticking around. There was some
No
sunshine
kidding.
today that melted a lot of it, but it snowed yesterday. It snowed today. It's still on the ground. It's messing me up.
Jeez.
I imagine.
Well, bad news, Scott. You're gonna have another storm's coming, and we're supposed to
Yeah.
get it tonight here in Chicago. So,
Are
talking
we?
Like I saw 3.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
What?
tonight. and
Oh.
tomorrow. Yeah, there's
Oh.
like 3 to 6. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
I'm glad
come
I'm
on,
here.
we've all lived
I'm
in
glad
the
I'm
Midwest
hearing
how
about this,
long?
but
You're not
it's
used to
bad that
this
I'm
by
on my
now?
podcast.
Yeah, this weekend it's going to be mid 60s here, and then by next weekend we're supposed to be in the mid 70s. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, right? I'm going to move. It's time.
I'm pretty happy with that.
I know a place that's a nice place to live.
Not if you don't like snow. What do you got there,
Hey.
Polly?
So, George, this is how that turned out.
Okay.
This is that No Chill Red.
Right.
It's hazy because I didn't use World Clock or anything because I forgot. That's what
Okay.
happens. You shouldn't be drinking while you brew.
Don't I know it? So, okay. I did forget that once, and I ended up using isinglass in the primary, and that worked out well. But I do typically try to use Whirlflock, but every once in a while, fish bladders to the rescue, right?
I've
right.
gelatinized
We
a couple of beers.
Have you? Okay. So,
We used isinglass once on malt liquor at Flossmore. That was weird. It was cloudy as hell, and a month later, it was crystal clear. That
Yeah.
was back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Remember, you
Ising-
remember
isinglass
you
gets
guys
the
around
job done.
Chicago area when they when all the breweries were making malt liquor that one summer. It was probably 2011, I want to say. It seemed like
I
every
really
brewery in the
don't.
Chicago area went on a malt liquor kick. It was just funny because everyone was every brewery and they got some kind of malt liquor on. I think Peace, they had what they called the Dolomite. And when you ordered it, it came to you in a pint glass in a paper bag. It was fucking scary.
I was definitely not homebrewing around that time, but I love that. I wish I
Yeah.
was.
no, that's something special. So, yeah, because the process isn't that different, is it, Polly, to make malt liquor?
No, malt liquor, it's just all you're using. You're just substituting your 2-row with corn.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
All it really is it's just making, it's like making beer, but you're using more corn.
Right.
than you
Right.
are 2-row or anything like that, or rice or whatever you would use.
So where does one end and where does the other one start? For malt liquor, does it have to be like 50% corn, or is there a certain number it's got to be?
You know what? I'd have to look it up. It's been
Yeah.
so long since I've looked at a recipe. I'd have to revisit it because, like I said, that was 10 years ago when we brewed it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Come on.
And I think
I'd
it
be
was funny
interested.
when I was working at Floss where we had a tapping that day. We went out and bought 40s to empty them so we could walk around the party because whenever they had Floss Point used to have tappings, they'd bring a half barrel out on a Tuesday. We would drink it for free till it was gone. And we ended up being, the ongoing joke ended up being keggers on Tuesdays.
Oh, damn.
So whenever you had a tapping, you just plan on not coming home sober that night.
I make
Okay.
that plan a lot.
All right, so we went down a rabbit hole for malt liquor. I have
We
a different
did.
rabbit hole. I want to bring everybody in.
I've got another one. Remind me when you're done.
Okay, all
Go
right.
ahead. I don't
So-
want to forget.
I made a golden discovery in my cupboard right before I came down to jump on the webcast, and I'm gonna hold it up to the camera, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
I had to look over here.
Pez. What?
Oh,
Orange
yeah.
Pez? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Can't see it.
Don't put it on anybody's
Pez.
knee at a piano concert.
don't put Pez on somebody's knee at a piano. That's a Seinfeld reference, right?
Yeah.
If it's a dispenser. Yep. Yeah, that's right. Well, two things. Who doesn't love Pez? Because Pez is awesome. And second of all, I have somewhat of a question. If there were a beer out there whose flavor somewhat resembled that of Pez, what would that be? Or is that just wishful thinking?
So if a
I think
flavor,
somebody did make a Pez beer.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Somebody did?
I think they did. Yeah, I see. When you guys on your computer look at, because I can't do it on my phone. I think years ago someone did make a.
I'm
Pez
looking this
beer.
up.
I think they did.
Okay.
I love the idea of this.
Well, it would have to be super sweet, and it would
Yeah.
have to be fruity, and a little bit chalky
It'll be
too,
a lot
right?
of next week. I'll tell you that right now. You couldn't do it in the primer because it'll dry it all out.
Oh
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Pez Saison, Barrissier Saint John.
Who did it?
Barrissier Saint John.
Okay.
It's on Beer Advocate, and but that's all it says. There's really nothing else in there. So, but that would be interesting because, yeah. Are you any good at those, Scott?
Yeah, I'm in my kids' playroom, and I grabbed it because I saw it over there and it wasn't solved.
Well, but I know there's people that can do those in about 3 seconds.
No, it takes me about a minute.
Okay.
What are you doing, Scott?
He's playing with a Rubik's Cube.
Oh God, really?
Yeah.
How
I'm
did a
no-
Rubik's Cube make an appearance here on the webcast?
He's
Again, I'm
sitting in-
sorry. I'm in the kids' playroom, and I noticed it right there, not solved, and that's the kind of thing that gets to me.
Okay. And meanwhile, your kid's gonna come up tomorrow and be like, "Oh, Dad, what the hell? I was working on that."
They'll just mess it up again.
Yeah. Pez beer. So, Jason, that's right up there with my idea for the chips and salsa beer. In my head.
I kind of agree.
Yeah.
It's on a similar wavelength.
Yeah.
Well, I still will enjoy my Pez just by itself.
And you
I
should.
just- I'll
do
just
you
have to.
Do you have a dispenser, or are you just eating it
No, straight.
just straight?
Yeah. Yeah, the dispensers. You know what? Like I love that people get creative with making dispensers, and I like the fact that there's collectors out there. But listen, you're just complicating the process of taking out Pez and popping it in your mouth and eating it. Just unnecessary. It's
Jason
unnecessary.
crushes it and snorts it.
That reminds me, there was a group of kids in my high school, I think, that were snorting pixie sticks.
Oh yes, that was absolutely a thing.
I never understood it.
I'm going to
myself,
dice up Pez and snort.
Just picturing Scarface Jason with a bunch of pets.
Bunch of Pez hanging out of his nose and everything. That's hysterical.
I'm gonna have an intervention. People would just be like, Jason, all right, you have a problem. You need to put down the Pez.
Oh man, that's funny.
You're out of control.
The green side of my Rubik's Cube.
Oh my God.
So wait, do you actually have a green screen in that room?
My kids' playroom, my son's favorite color was green, so we painted the entire room green.
Well, that's convenient. Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Is that the skyline of Buffalo? Scott?
No, this
No,
is Chicago. For
That's
the Malloy.
Chicago.
Yeah, from the north side.
Okay,
That's
now I
the
can see
Hancock
Civic
building.
Tower.
So, all right. So
Okay.
wait. Okay. So
that's looking down on the.
that looks like
hey,
that's
much better.
that looks like that's from what park is that, Jason?
Lincoln
That-
Park.
that-
Lincoln
that looks
Park,
like it's
probably.
from
River
Lincoln.
right there?
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's
Okay.
that's a lagoon right there. That's where that's
Uh-huh.
where the gator was last year.
No. That was further west. That was Humboldt Park. That's further west.
There was an alligator in Humboldt Park?
Oh, George, you didn't read about this?
Uh-uh.
Oh, type in Chance the Snapper.
Oh,
That's what they named. No, this story went on for a straight week.
Hold
some-
the
some-
phone. No. We gotta stop. Stop. There's an alligator in Humboldt Park.
Yes.
And somebody thought this is a perfect opportunity to pay homage to Chance the Rapper
Yes.
and name it Chance the Snapper.
Yes, that was the media. They were the ones that came up with the name. So, anyways,
pretty cool.
the story was that some idiot out there, what they think happened is somebody bought an exotic pet, and it got too big and they couldn't take care of it. So in the middle of the night, they just dumped an alligator in the middle of Humboldt Park. It
As
had a
you
couple
do.
days to swim around before
As you do.
before people identified it. They closed off the lagoon, and for like 3 to 4 days, the media was watching this thing. It took them that 3 to 4 days before, and they had to bring up a guy from Florida who was a quote unquote alligator catcher to finally capture the alligator and take him out of the lagoon. Yeah, it was the story of the summer last year.
If I've learned anything from Netflix, anybody claiming to be an exotic animal person is not qualified.
By what would you be referring to? I have no idea.
And now it's down in his. I guess the guy has a wildlife refuge down there in Florida, and that's where he brought this gator to. It's now
Yeah, I'm
living
not
down
surprised.
with all his other gator friends down in Florida.
Now to be fair, there's a ton of legitimate alligator refuge type places in Florida, so it was probably one of them.
Yeah,
But yeah.
You don't want to
that
piss off
story-
the
I
alligator
will
people.
forget what the
I hear it.
city considered him like a hero and whatnot.
Yes.
I was laughing
Oh, yeah.
my ass off about that.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
No, he was crowned a hero for taking that. Yeah, he threw out the first pitch at a Cubs game. I mean, they paraded him around the city like he was a king.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They totally did. Yeah, it was hysterical.
yeah.
So the rabbit hole that I wanted to remember and go down was Scott. When you gelatinized your beer, I've heard different ways of doing that. Do you remember what you did, like how you introduced that to be able to drop that stuff out?
I do. In fact, if you go to youtube.com/WNY Brews, one of my videos is how to gelatinize a beer.
Okay.
But I put, I think, half a packet of gelatin, unflavored gelatin, of course, in some filtered water, and then microwaved that in the microwave at 7-second bursts until it was about 150 degrees. And then dumped it into the keg. And,
into the keg. Okay.
Mhm. And the keg was already cold, but you throw it back in to your fridge, and after a day, everything just settles to the bottom, and like the first pull off of it, you get all the gunk, and then
Right.
after that, it's like crystal clear.
Any worry about that, like clogging the dip tube?
It didn't. For certain beers, I use the top draw system,
Okay.
which is a
I just
floating.
learned about this week. I'm gonna have to get one.
I heard about
it's
this
a
too,
floating
yeah.
system. And it saved me a lot of time on IPAs. I used to have to unclog things because as hard as I would try, I would still get some hop material into the keg.
Right.
But it pulls right off the top. It's great.
Yeah, Jason, you've seen these, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you had that problem with your dip tube getting clogged up that one time.
That was pretty horrible. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you,
how'd you unclog your dip tube? That's my question.
So I transferred the
I know
beer
how
to
I
a new
did
one.
mine.
yeah, to a new keg, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never had that option. Every time like I clogged a dip tube, it was like something was at an event. I think a couple times I had it happen to me at the Bluegrass Fest. It happened at one of the JBG farmers markets. Like, so I pull the post, and then I'll do like a little beer fountain trying to get it out there. And then you
I've
pull the
done
post
that
out
too.
and sanitize and put it back together.
Yep.
So what I've seen some people do is they take a beer disconnect, hook it up to a gas line, put it on, and force oxygen down through. I mean, force
tried
CO2
that.
down through.
Yep. I tried that. Didn't
Tried
work.
that? Didn't work?
Yeah, at
Okay.
least I'm sure that works in certain occurrences. It just didn't with mine.
Didn't with
Did
this
you
one.
say
Yeah.
oxygen or CO2?
No,
You
I
forced CO2
did,
now.
but I meant CO2. Yeah,
Yeah.
force
Okay.
CO2 down through just to clear the line, and then put your regular, picnic tap or whatever on to draw it out. Yeah,
Hey, can I show you what beer I'm drinking?
Yes.
you can.
Here's why. It's a green can.
So
It's,
maybe not.
Southern Tier New Juice IPA.
Okay.
That's pretty cool right there.
Okay.
That is pretty cool.
It's
yeah.
it's awesome. How transparent that is because of the green
Yeah.
color.
Speaking of gelatin, they
Yeah.
obviously find this one. It's
I
very
tell you,
clear.
I think
Very
some
clear.
I think some marketing people from Southern Tier are going to see this and they're going to be like, "Wow, I'm getting some ideas here."
I know the marketing people from Southern Tier. I'll send it to them. I'll let
Is
them
that
know.
true? Do you?
Oh,
Invite
yeah.
them on.
No,
We'd love to have
again,
them.
they're-
Yes,
they're-
please.
they're local.
I'm a huge fan of Southern Tier. I really am.
We are. Yeah,
Yeah.
we would love to have them if
Yes.
you
They
know
are. They are Western New York.
them. Okay.
Southern
That would
Tier
be-
Brewing.
That would be amazing if we could make that happen.
So I forgot. It's the same one I'm drinking last.
yes.
Last time
Yes,
is
I
Albino
remember.
Monkey from Strange Ways. It's
Mm-hmm.
a Richmond beer company. It's a white ale with different spices in it. So for anybody that wasn't here last time,
And I have an empty glass. Does anyone mind if I step away and grab some
go
more?
fix it, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got an empty glass problem. I get it.
Yeah, well, but I can finish up. Since we were talking, we went down the rabbit hole of, like, weird beers. George, do you remember when Floyd's had the ham and cheese on rye?
Yes, I do.
Did
That
you ever
was
try
weird.
it?
I don't know that I did.
I did
Actually,
try
I remember.
it. I had to try it because Chicago Street had it.
And how
And
was
I had
it?
to try it. And I was like, yeah. It was horrible.
It was horrible. Yeah.
It did taste like ham and cheese on rye. It did. I'm not gonna lie, but no. Like, luckily, I just had. It was like they used to have flight days at Chicago Street. It was like $5 for a flight. So
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'll try that. I'm never gonna commit to a full pint of it because it just sounded gross. And I'm glad I couldn't even commit to the sample last night. But I had to try it. I was intrigued.
So, to tee up kind of what it might be our next conversation here, the worst beer I've ever had, hands down, amateur, professional, semi-pro, whatever, was at a JBG event when someone put Malorts in a beer and brought a Malort beer. Do you remember this, Polly?
I do. Well, that guy that
And-
I can't
and
remember his name.
As I
He
say
brought
that,
cheap
I don't
beer,
remember
and it was
who.
horrible.
Yeah, as I say that, I don't
I don't
remember who
remember
made
who
that,
did
so
either.
I'm hoping it wasn't you.
No.
Okay.
Hated Malort. Now I've learned to love it. So, I mean, I still won't put that in a beer. There's certain things like you see all those memes like shot of Malort. There's this one game that I've played before. It's called the Malort Bomb, where like say you're at a bar and you're with a bunch of friends, you're ordering a round of shots. You order
Right.
a round of shots and you get one Malort shot, and you put it in the middle of the tray, and people just start pulling shots off of it.
And one unlucky son of a bitch gets the Malorts.
Again, it
Well,
can't be
I
this
did it-
bad.
All right. When
Yes.
Jason gets back, we have to. So I went and saw John Oliver in concert one time, and when he came out, the very first thing he said was, "I'm sorry, Chicago, but what the hell is Malorts? I have like 3 bottles of it back here that people gave me." And the whole audience just lost it laughing because we all know what it is, and it's yeah.
Have you
So-
actually watched the commercial? There's a YouTube video of them making takes of them of the Malort commercial, and the guy goes through a whole bottle of Malort. It's hysterical. It's like a 10-minute video, and you will laugh your ass off about it.
No, I have
If
not,
not,
seen
I'll
that.
send it to you, George. I'll send it to you on Facebook. I mean,
Okay.
or if you just go on YouTube and you look up Malort commercial, you'll see it. And it's just kind of you just see him quivering, and then all of a sudden he starts liking it, and he pukes over himself, and next thing you know, he's in a white beater shirt with a little bit of spittle right here, and at the end of the video, he's up passed out on the bar with an empty bottle of Malort. It's hysterical.
Oh, have we introduced the bottle?
Not
No,
yet.
not yet, but we're
Guys,
getting
is this
there.
streaming live right now?
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Okay, where? Hold on.
At least it should
Is
be.
it on your
yeah.
Twitter?
Go on YouTube. Just go with Malort commercial.
Well, no, he's talking about this. It actually isn't, but that's my fault. It should be. Let let me get that out there real quick. Nice place to brew.
Yeah, I want to share it out if we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Oh, please do.
1 second. Oh man.
Share it to my
So-
dozens of followers.
I always think of what was it? Arrested Development. There's dozens of us.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Surratt, a beerinator. I was just talking about living in Chicago in beer. Do you guys know Jonathan Surratt? I follow him on the Twitter.
Jonathan Surratt. I don't know him.
Don't-
Do
The
you-
name
do you
sounds
know?
familiar.
Read
yeah, it sounds
beer.com.
vaguely familiar.
I know a bunch of people just working at a store, so name sounds familiar.
Oh, awesome.
So are we segueing into the bottle?
Yeah,
seems
I'm
like it.
sharing
Are we telling everybody what said bottle is? What it's about?
I would love to hear it if you know the history.
So is
So-
there a YouTube video that maybe we can share?
Are we still talking?
We may
about
have to search for it.
On what? On like what Malort is?
Yeah.
What is
Malort
Malort?
is a Swedish liqueur that came over from like Scandinavia, and I guess the story is the guy, his family brought it when they immigrated to the United States. They brought that
All right.
recipe, and then they planted themselves in Chicago. There's a lot of Scandinavians in Chicago. I'm Scandinavian
Wow.
myself. I'm Norwegian. So
All right.
Lord,
there you-
the
but yeah,
liqueur that Chicago loves to hate. Here we go.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's one of those traditions. So I just oh, you got it. All right. I think you might have. Yeah, but anyway, I just put it out there, Scott, for you. So you
On the
can-
Twitter. Good, because I'm going to share it out because I want
Okay.
people to be able to see this.
All right. So
at first I hated it, but after doing many shots, I ended up starting to like it. And now they came out with a new one. They got like a barrel aged version of it.
a
And
barrel-aged
I was-
version.
That's just as bad as the other one, to be honest with you.
See what can we do with this amazing flavored liqueur that we've made? Stick it in a barrel.
Stick
of
it in a
course.
barrel. I think that's more. Nobody wants to drink this stuff. What should we do
Yeah.
it? Let's stick it
Yeah.
in a barrel for a while and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Maybe next year there'll be a smoked
Okay.
version. How about that?
Yeah.
I say next, I say by next year, Fobab will have a Malort barrel beer. So
No.
similar to Fobab, they'll have
They
a
had
Malort
one of
barrel.
those this year. No, I remember that. There
Did
was
they? Okay,
there was
I
a
heard about that.
Yeah.
This year.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I was reminiscing with Polly about the very worst beer I've ever had in my entire life. That
peppered beer?
rivals that. No, it was way worse than that, and it rivals that cucumber nonsense we had at Noon Whistle.
Okay.
The Malort beer some dude brought to the JBG one night.
That was a while ago.
Do you remember
but yeah,
this?
Yeah, I do.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it was terrible.
Yeah.
It had all the full character of Malort in a. I don't even remember what the base was. I just remember drinking it and going, "Dear God, why?"
Because somehow one of the JBG members was like, "Yeah, this is a good idea."
This is a good idea.
Think
Yeah.
about our members, guys. Does it surprise you?
No,
No, not in the slightest.
No, certainly not. Yes. All right.
No.
Is it time?
I mean, I've
Scott?
had-
I would have said my word.
Oh, I'm getting into a shot glass here.
Yes.
That's
Okay. All right.
We don't have to do it right now.
No, we
I'm gonna
can.
go get Hannah. No,
Okay, all right.
We're gonna.
No,
we're gonna
I'll
go
wait.
We'll
I
put
won't
this
even
together.
take a sniff yet.
I poured
I will let you know.
Okay. All right. Paulie was enjoying
not
some
Are you
Evan
doing
Williams
show or-
earlier. Yeah.
I am.
You want to pour a shot to accompany us all?
I already got one ready.
Oh, okay.
You got
right
one
on.
ready?
Right on.
All right.
So we need the wife to,
It says-
join
All
us
right.
as
Let
well.
me go get her.
I tell you,
It says has the
George's
aroma.
wife, heavy aroma.
It has the aroma and full-bodied flavor of an unusual botanical, is what it says.
Oh yeah.
That's one way of putting it. I tell you, this is a rare opportunity because George's wife does not make many appearances on our webcast or podcast. This is quite an opportunity.
I haven't so much
All right.
as smelled it yet. Am I going to
Okay.
sip or am I going to shot?
No,
Or am I-
toss it back.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. I like I said, I haven't even smelled it yet. I'm
Okay.
waiting.
All
Can
right.
you
so-
are you able to get closer to the webcam?
I can.
Yeah.
okay.
I can even just bring the webcam closer to me.
Okay, that'll
Well,
work
I
too.
can-
Yeah.
It's
I can also
2020.
do. I can also do this. Boom.
Oh,
right there.
that's perfect. Yes. Yes. Can
My
you hold
Chicago behind me here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it?
So
Oh, that's
unfortunately,
amazing.
sleep has overtaken Hannah, but
Okay.
so she will have to look at the recording. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Is Paulie still there?
All right.
The profile, it's because my computer's over here to see you guys.
Okay. Let's wait till
I
Paulie.
All right.
Paulie's
I
gonna
haven't
get
even
back.
smelled it.
I'm back. Did I miss a
You're
shot?
back.
You're not.
Not
No,
yet.
no. Okay. Yeah, you're in frame.
All right. Ready to
Go
solo.
full,
All right.
Okay, let's set this up properly. Okay, this is a nice place to brew. Thursday webcast, as we cheers our friend Scott here.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of good beer to make great beer.
Cheers.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Am I doing this?
Yes. Cheers.
Do it.
All right.
Do it, man.
Down the hatch.
Yeah. Tastes like Malort.
There it is. There it is.
It's really hard to describe that. All right, let me describe what just happened.
Yes.
Okay. Hang on.
So
Let
I
me go
took-
back to. All right. Go ahead.
I took the shot, and my immediate thought was, "Oh, that's not bad." And then it's still there.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the flavor hit, and I'm like, "Oh, there's a little bit of honey in there. That's not terrible. It's still there." And then I'm like, "This is
Yeah.
like a rubbery." All right, so there's a rubber. Right now, it's a rubber flavor. I can't describe what that flavor was.
No, you can't at all.
Rubber's not bad. Rubber's not bad. That's a pretty good description.
It
I've
tastes
always
like
just-
chewing on a latex glove.
I get the anise flavor out of it more.
Oh, there's an anise flavor for sure. Anise and
Yeah.
rubber glove. Hold on.
Yeah.
There's a fancy
Now.
there while you're at it.
Need a chaser.
I need to know what this is.
So I'll tell you what. You have a whole bottle of it now. And the
Yes.
purpose of that bottle is not, hey, I need a shot of something on a Saturday night. The purpose of that bottle, once you're able to meet up with your friends again, is to subject them to it.
Yes.
That is the whole purpose of Malort.
Yep.
Okay, hold on.
You couldn't be more right, George. I mean, you could not be more right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's like an antiseptic, like hospital.
Yeah, I tell you, for me, the best way I could always describe it, it was never 100% accurate, is fermented lemongrass is what
Okay,
the flavor
yeah.
that
It's a great description.
Mm-hmm.
I keep smelling my hand to get this out of there.
Oh man, that was worth it.
Absolutely. Cheers, Scott. You've officially been knighted
Yeah,
into a nice
cheers.
place to brew
That's-
by
According
taking
to
a shot.
Chicago-
Oh, look, he's still.
Yeah. According to Chicagoland tradition, you are now a man.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess
right
it's-
off the bat, immediately it's not bad. But then you get the burnt rubber kind of flavor to it.
Oh yeah.
Huh. There's
Stop
got to
me.
be people. I guarantee you there's people in Chicago that love this.
Oh, yeah.
100% there is.
Oh, they do.
Absolutely.
They have a Malort festival in Chicago.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
They got
about
Oh
that.
yeah.
It's all around this.
Now that's
Yeah, there is a
crazy.
Malort Fest.
That is
Yeah.
that is
It's up in
crazy.
the north side. I think it's in like Wicker Park, over by all the hipsters and bullshit.
That is such a Wicker
They're
Park
drinking
thing to
Malort
do.
Deep
Yes,
Bar.
of course, of course.
Right?
only in a hipster neighborhood would they put something like that together. So
Oh,
I don't know if
You
I
guys
can
ever
get my
heard of
wife to
Shivas?
come up and try this.
I think you should try.
that would be amazing. Did you just do another?
He did.
No, just a tiny little bit because I'm trying to swirl it around now,
Okay.
He's
like
trying to make it.
like playground ball.
he's playground ball.
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
like a playground ball. Like a dodgeball, like getting hit in the face with a dodgeball. That's that.
I think we just came. I think we just came up with a new slogan for Malort. Like getting hit in the face with a dodgeball.
That smell. Ah.
Oh man.
It's perfect. It's perfect. Okay.
Thank you guys for inviting me for this. I'm glad to
Yeah.
be a part of this.
I'm gonna-
amazing.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna-
so much for joining, Polly.
I'm gonna isolate this
maybe-
this 5 minutes
On a
here.
balloon?
Oh my god.
and
I am
I'm
gonna
gonna-
rewatch the crap out of this.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm going to isolate this and I'm going to put it into a tweet and I'm going to send it to the Gypsum Malort people because I have
Please
a feeling
do.
they would just love it.
Please do. Please do.
Oh, it makes the
I'll make sure-
southern
I'll make
tier
sure I
that
play
much
the
better.
commercials.
Yeah, I bet it does. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny.
All right.
Yep. Excuse me.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Do we have? We got some Facebook comments here.
Do we? Okay.
Oh,
At least.
nice.
What do we got?
Let's see.
Oh, I just burped.
It's probably real nasty, right?
Mm,
It's been better.
it's been better.
My
Oh,
old
man.
My old friend Joseph said he would be glad to drink a Pez flavored beer. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent.
Okay. All right. Pez flavored beer gets
Yeah,
a bit
all
of
right.
an endorsement. All right.
Okay. All right. Well, the challenge has been issued. Who can put this together?
Yeah.
Not going to be
Oh,
an easy
man.
thing, but
I know, guy.
It's out there.
Now you got me thinking. It's like, because, okay, so Pez is part sweet, part flavor, and then part texture, too. So you almost got to get that, like, kind of chalkiness in the beer somehow.
I think all you have to create is a flavor that tastes like artificial sugar, because that's all that Pez is.
Yeah, no, it is. But, like, when you eat a Pez, it's not like a Mike and Ike or anything like that. Like, there's that chalky... That's part of the experience of a Pez, in my mind.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Point taken.
So how do you get that into a beer?
I don't
That's
know
the
if
question.
I don't know if I would try to recreate that.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Because the word chunky and beer are not two things
Well,
that should go
so
together.
I said chalky, but yes, no,
Okay.
yeah. Uh,
Yeah, chunky. Sorry, poor
yeah,
choice of
no,
words.
that's okay. No, yeah, chunky should not be a
No,
descriptor for beer.
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no, not at all. Yeah. All right.
Interesting.
All right.
So I'm trying to come up with stuff to send you guys now.
Okay.
And there's a website called buffaloinabox.com
Oh,
where they send buffalo stuff out like Loganberry. Have you ever had Loganberry?
Oh yeah, Loganberry pie.
Well, just Loganberry as a drink.
Yeah. Oh, and not as
I-
a drink. No, I've only ever had it in like pies and stuff.
God, I know what that is, Loganberry, and I'm. Jeez.
Chevetta's barbecue
Yeah,
marinade.
probably.
It's a chicken marinade. See, I'm
Okay.
not going to send you that because that requires a lot of effort in making a chicken and doing it well.
True enough. I'm up for that challenge, but yeah, no. And this isn't about sending us something that's good. This is about
She's coming
know.
Are you going to do this? hey, my wife's going to do it.
Yes.
Yes. Shot.
It's already weird. All right.
All right.
I won't tell you any of my thoughts on it.
Good.
You have to sit
Yeah,
in this
I'm gonna-
chair because I green screened
Oh, that's way too much. What do you?
Chicago.
I'm not drinking that much.
Oh, he poured a full
Hold on.
shot.
Don't smell it. Here, have a seat in the seat here. Guys, my wife has never been on my podcast. She's only been on yours.
Well.
Hi,
there we
Scott's
go.
wife.
Hi there.
Hi, Scott's wife.
Hi.
Drink and run, right?
I'm Jason.
Hi.
This is George and Polly from A Nice Place to
Jason,
Brew.
George, Polly.
We're from
She can't.
Chicago, Illinois, and Virginia.
I don't
can't
think she
hear
can
you.
hear us, Jason.
Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, she didn't have headphones.
No, I
Okay.
don't.
Be able to hear them.
Yeah.
I'm holding.
This is left. Your left is here.
Yeah.
This way.
Okay.
Okay.
There she is.
I'm excited.
Hi.
Hello, Scott's
Hi.
wife.
Oh,
Welcome to A Nice Place to Brew.
So
Thank
this is a Chicagoland tradition,
Mm-hmm.
and you only have to do this once. I promise.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That doesn't bode
All right.
well for me.
We will
Alright.
we will
Love it.
we'll cheers you with this too.
Okay.
And
Can I
as
look
we say-
here?
That's where they
Oh,
As we say
Hold
on this
let me
this.
pour a shot of whiskey. At least
Oh, actually, yeah,
All right, all right.
Polly's gonna pour
Polly
a shot
needs
with
some-
you. So yeah,
All right.
okay.
just be 1 second.
I'm glad I keep the whiskey right next to me. I don't have
There-
to have Ben Berkey pour me a shot.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, we got it. As we
Cheers.
say here on A Nice Place to Brew, it takes a lot of good beer to make great beer.
Cheers.
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 Yep. That's about it.
Wow. Is that
Would you
paint
believe
I'm
they
tasting?
sell?
Tastes like paint.
Like
Tastes like paint.
interesting.
When you inhale the spray paint, that's what I'm getting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I have to finish it?
I said like
No.
No.
You can make Scott finish it. Yeah.
So the way George describes this, he describes the flavor as fermented lemongrass. Does that seem accurate after tasting that?
No.
No, not fermented lemongrass. Okay.
I mean, I've only tried fermented lemongrass, once or twice. So, I mean, no,
Yeah.
not quite sure what that is.
It's no.
Still
it's something
burning.
special, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you believe they sell millions of cases of that a year?
Really?
In Chicago.
Yeah,
In Chicago,
it's
yeah.
absurdly popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have a festival dedicated to it in a Chicago neighborhood too.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm still, yeah,
Still
it's
there.
still there at the back of that burn,
Dries you out.
acidic.
It lingers. This whole lingers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it does linger.
Yeah.
It does. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you for that. That was
You're
was
very
wonderful.
welcome.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. Cheers.
thank
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Here. Thanks, guys. All
Yeah.
right, here comes Scott.
Okay.
Whew.
It stays there.
It does. It is. Tell him I don't usually drink whiskey.
This is not whiskey.
It's not
What is it?
whiskey.
It's a liqueur.
It's a liqueur, but a whiskey chaser might not be a bad idea.
No,
Yeah, right?
honestly, I think that's very appropriate.
Yeah.
I feel terrible. I'm sitting here drinking whiskey while you poor Buffalo people are drinking Malort. Actually, wait a minute. Did you get that in Buffalo, or did someone send that to you? How'd you
I
get
sent
that?
it to him.
Jason sent it to
Oh, you
him.
did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, quarantine, these are strange times.
We're drinking Malort over webcasts.
Again, my wife has never been on my podcast since 2015. Never once has come on it.
That's the power of a nice place to brew.
There you go.
Yeah. And hey, here's there's terrible liquor from Chicago. You want to try it? And she showed up at the door.
Showed up at the door. There you go.
I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. What?
Oh.
I could get paint.
Yeah,
Well, we did tell her.
The paint
she asked-
description is interesting. I haven't heard that
It
one.
is interesting.
never-
She asked
I've
if
heard
she
of
had to
paint
finish
thinner,
it,
but not
Scott.
paint.
Paint thinner.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, well, I think
in the
that's
bottle.
just.
I'm gonna drink that.
Yeah. No, we told her that we could make you. She could make you finish it. So. Yeah.
Or you can save it for your friends, like George said earlier.
Oh yeah,
Pour
for
it back
sure.
into the
But
bottle, you're all good. Don't worry
this
about
right
it.
here again, I'm not pouring that back in, and I'm not gonna dump it because I'm against that.
Okay.
Okay. So, is it alcohol abuse to dump it if the alcohol itself is abusive?
Can you tweet that, please? Seriously, that's brilliant. That was perfect. Is it alcohol abuse if the alcohol itself is abusive? Please, that's genius.
Yeah.
So
I
what
will.
botanicals now?
Honestly, I have no idea. It just says botanicals. Now I know there's some wormwood in there, like the non-hallucinogen kind, but beyond that, I have no idea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me find a Malort recipe.
No,
do Jason
no,
do a
no,
Lord.
Paulie, don't do that. You don't have to.
Judge me, Jason.
I'm not judging you. I'm saying, in the name of good taste, you don't have to do this.
But if you do, I want a snow globe because I gotta try it.
George.
No, I'm
Why?
sorry. If
Why?
if Polly makes a Malort clone, I gotta try it.
Oh, this is enabling bad behavior. That's all it is.
It is, and I'm channeling my inner Nate, and I'm gonna enable some bad behavior.
Okay.
See, that's why I like you guys. Jason's like, don't do it. You're like, just do it. Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
We're always on the
Okay,
opposite
so-
end. Either one of them's enabling, and then the other is like, no, no, no. And we trade places. We trade places on that.
Scott, I'm gonna remove you from the stream for just 1 second. So
boy.
now we're the angel and devil on Polly's shoulder.
No, Polly, don't
Yes,
do
yes,
it.
you are.
It tastes
You are.
horrible.
I'll tell
You
you
don't
that
want to
right
do
now.
this. George's like, yes, Polly, it'll be an experiment. Yes, of course.
Hey, I'm all for
try it.
experiment, and maybe there's a way he can improve the recipe and smooth it out. I don't know. You don't know.
No, I'm going for the original thing. I'm going all in or everything. I want more anise in it. I want more black licorice. I love black licorice.
See, I do too. I'm a big fan of black licorice, but I
Okay.
never have gotten
Okay.
black licorice from Malort's. Not once.
I-
So,
That's you know what? Maybe it was because there was one beer when I was working at Floss where we did a beer and we used anise and we used way too much. And this beer was chewing on a black fucking Twizzler, like. And I tried loving it, and then finally I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I love it. I'm glad I was a part of this, but no, I cannot drink this beer anymore. So it made me giggle a little bit. Yeah, I know Jason knows about this, but George, you ever heard of Slivovitz? It's the same thing as Malort, but it's like it's Eastern European, not Scandinavian.
no, I haven't.
Joel was a big fan of it.
No, I don't know that.
I don't think I know about this either.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't
you
think
remember
I
when
am.
we had the meeting in the donut?
I've
couple
never been
years
to the
ago,
donut.
when we
I've
were
never
traveling.
been.
Oh, so you didn't even go to that meeting we had at the donut. So this is back when Joel was doing all the bottle cap awards, and he's like, all right, we're going to do a Triple Crown award. You do a shot of Malort, a shot of Slivovitz, and some high gravity Eastern European beer. It was like 13%. It tasted like garbage. It really did, but I did it, but I never got my bottle cap. I'm still giving Joel shit about it to this day.
And you should.
Yes.
I will. I'm going to do it again next time I talk to him.
All right. Well,
Okay, well,
you fellas, that
if
was
if I
super
need
entertaining.
if I need more of a reason to go to the donut, which I still feel like I do, that's another one. So yeah, whatever this comparable Eastern European version of Malort is, I feel like I need to try it, and then
Well,
maybe
once
videotape
things are
it for a
lifted, Jason, I
podcast.
will meet you at the donut. How about that?
Okay, it's a date.
It's a date. We'll have to see. It's kind of funny because, like, a lot of us Joliet people, because of the music scene that the Drunken Donut has, we always call it Chicago Street Youngins. When you finally grow up, you get to play at Chicago Street. You've been playing at the Donut for how many years? Now you move over to us. So, and actually, there's been a few good bands that have made the change, and they're all good bands.
Yeah, Green Jello.
Have you heard of Black Road?
Black Road. No.
They're
What
a
about
local
Green-
band out of
Green
Joliet,
Jello?
and they're a metal, they're a metal band, and the singer's, I'm sorry, she's fucking cute, cute little black haired girl, amazing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but I know they played they played the Donut forever, and then they started playing here at the pub, and I'm like, okay, this is good, and it's just kind of cool how like the city that I live in has two separate music scenes, the younger and the older crowd,
Right.
Yeah.
But I just heard talk about Green Jello, the band.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
played there at the donut just within the last 3 months.
Month
They
and a
are a
half.
Buffalo band. If you did not know that,
I did not know that. No.
What'd you say?
No, I didn't know that either.
they're a
Green
Buffalo
Jello?
band. Yeah, Green Jelly, Green Jello. Yes,
Mm-hmm. I thought they were an LA band.
they
They are,
are
but
L.A.
they-
via Buffalo. They are from
Via-
Buffalo.
Wow. Okay, I did not know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have a
Excellent.
song called "Flight of the Skajakwita," which is what's the word? A road in Buffalo where if you hit it too fast, you go flying off the road. It's
Okay.
the Skajakwita Expressway. We have a lot of Native American names around Buffalo. Skajakwita is
Yeah.
one of them. But Green Jelly is Green Jello, is a Buffalo band.
Okay.
Origin,
Huh.
Hollywood, Los Angeles, Buffalo, New York.
Wow. Is that the
That's interesting.
Wikipedia page?
Yeah.
I tell you,
Because
the
they're-
history of that band is insane. It is so crazy how many weird angles that band has taken over their career.
Actually, you know who the latest drummer is for that band? Is
Well,
Audio Phil.
Well, he has a different band for every city that he travels to. That's one of the unique things that what he's doing right now.
100% true. That's not 100% true. I've heard about this documentary. I need to watch it.
Yeah.
But I know one guitarist, buddy of mine from the area. He's been in there for a few years. Like, he went all over Europe playing with these guys. So
Okay.
it's not just whatever city you're in, you're playing. Like my buddy Craig, he's been a part of the band for a while, and he's traveled the world. Like, he did like 2 weeks in Europe, all through Scandinavia and Germany and France and all that.
So I wonder if it's just the U.S. shows where where he adopts a new band in each city or something. I don't know.
Well, I think the thing is he's had everybody playing with him.
Right.
Whoever still wants to play with him will play.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, I know, like,
Okay.
Phil, he played, like, Audio Phil from the record store. He plays the Midwest. Like, he's been in Fort Wayne, he's been in Minnesota, he's been in Detroit.
Did he play the show at
Port
Green
Tiffany.
at the Donut?
He did. Actually,
Okay.
him and my buddy Craig brought him to the Donut, and that's when he decided he was going to play the Donut.
Okay.
Like, he happened to bring him there. He's like, oh, I want to play here. And next thing you know, like, there was something going on. Oh, it was Brian's birthday. And there was a bluegrass band at Workforce, and I drank too much. And I am not going to make it till 2 a.m. at a bar that I'm probably the oldest person then, to be honest with you. Minus the people playing the music. Because the Donut's got such a young crowd. And it's cool to see young people out and doing stuff like that, you know? But
Yeah, Chicago's
thought
definitely
it was
got a
really
music
cool.
scene, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Joliet has their own
So-
music scene too.
Oh yeah, we have our own music scene, exactly.
That's
That
true.
is absolutely.
That's true. Yeah.
I find that so interesting and it's so specific to Joliet.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's not just Joliet, but it's the whole south suburbs. It's like Joliet, Tinley, Mokina,
yeah.
like the far south suburbs. The
Mhm.
last ones before you get in the middle of nowhere,
Mhm.
there's a huge music scene that comes around there. And we branch even in the south side of Chicago, like Beverly and whatnot.
Right. Right. It's true.
yeah.
Yeah. It's very.
Well,
it's
it's not
very.
far
cool.
beyond
South
there,
side
you
has
start-
its own complete music scene.
It's not far beyond there. You start hitting the middle of nowhere. So.
Oh
that
yeah.
is,
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
But anyway, guys, I'm running low here, and I've been having a great time. I don't know about you, but are we? I think we should.
Is
Are
that-
we?
is
Are we
that
ready
time to
like,
close out
start
on a high
wrapping it
note?
up?
Yes. I think we
It
are.
might be. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
There we are.
So since we've done our traditional sign off twice now,
Yes.
I'm gonna alter it slightly.
Okay. All right.
So, all right. So, raise your glass, fellas.
Hold on, I got
And-
more whiskey. I'm out of beer.
Hold
You got
on,
more whiskey.
guys. I don't have
I'm out
anything
of beer.
except
I don't
Malort.
see yours yet,
You, Scott, you're off the hook. You've done enough. You've done enough.
so- Yeah.
It's I've said this on past broadcasts. It's unlucky to toast without something in your glass. I'm going very little here.
Oh God, he's doing.
Oh no!
It's very
don't
little.
do it, man. Don't do it.
It's
You-
unlucky.
You are the man, Scott.
Yeah, glutton, man.
Oh, mad
right, so-
respect.
Yeah,
mad,
too bad.
mad respect.
That's so
yeah,
little.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
change
But I'm
our
gonna
sign
do it.
off. It takes no malorts to make great beer. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that one. Cheers.
It is pretty bad.
Yes.